You're watching the Eternal Tournament Series.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the Eternal Tournament Series Season 5 Invitational Grand Final. I'm, of course, your host, Bairdrus, joined again by my wonderful co-host, LighsOutAce, and we're going to have a very quick series for you here today. It's going to be 5 games between Sunnyvale and Missing Toes. We're going to have Burn Queen going up against Elysian Midrange, and this is very likely going to be over one way or another in 5 games due to time constraints.
Yeah, and so they played before. Sunny squeaked out a victory, so he is in the winner's side bracket here, and he is. Oh no, Missing Toes is starting us out here. Kind of an awkward hand. False Prince into Xena Initiation is not exactly the sort of curve you want to see.
Yeah, not particularly. And Predatory Carnosaur already has Killer, so you don't really need to hit it with Xena Initiation. But Sunnyvale doesn't have the best start either. Like, he'll at least have a Rakano Outlaw, but then he's going to be a little slow on his following turns as well.
Oh, he does get to Vara's favor this False Prince, which is pretty much the dream.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't, he also had the Rakano Outlaw swing into it, hit it with the torch, so...
Yeah, a lot of ways
to be pretty good either way, yeah.
It turns out.
Yeah, this is pretty good here for him. So Sunnyvale off to a pretty good start, all things considered. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of action going on, but that was about the best way that could have gone down.
Yeah, he would have loved to have a 1-drop, but I mean, no 1-drop just means that you have a bunch of more expensive cards, right? And the expensive Stone Scar cards are also really good. Like, he gets to go Impending Doom into like Obliterate if Missing Toes plays like a Titan or something.
Yeah, and he's already got the Impending Doom down now, so he's going to be pressuring his opponent. I mean, he's got him on a 3-turn clock currently. Like, if Missing Toes doesn't find a 6 power in the next turn or two, like, this actually will just be a 3-turn clock, and that'll be game. But he does find Cerso, which is okay. Doesn't actually do what he wants it to do here, since there is a Rapid Shot in hand.
Yep, if you wait for the pig transformation to happen and then Rapid Shot, you will have a 6-2 quick draw pig, and it will kill Cerso.
Yeah. That will not be looking too good for him. I mean, even if he hits the Impending Doom with the Rapid Shot and then he uses the Torch, like, he's pushing so much damage right now. He's got Obliterate in hand too that Missing Toes isn't going to be able to block in anyway. So I mean, this is looking pretty good for Sunnyvale. It's hard to see how he's going to actually lose this one.
Even left up the Rapid Shot now, so this Carnosaur coming down to kill the Impending Doom is going to also die.
Yeah, although I'm not sure if you actually burn the Rapid Shot here, if you burn the
Torch. Yeah, you can use Torch too. Yeah. Ooh, that's also good. Didn't draw power for the Carnosaur, so opts just Xena Initiation on Cerso.
Yeah, this is gonna hit here. He's gonna be able to play a Friendly Wisp, which will at least provide a blocker. But like, once again, I think they're just gonna push enough damage down here. Like, there's gonna be a ton of damage coming through.
Yeah, this it looks like Missing Toes is just not gonna be able. Like, he's even on the play, but it looks like he's just not gonna be able to get head above water here.
Yeah, like, he just had a very awkward draw here. I mean, that's really where he fell down in this game. Like, everything he seemed to do was fine, but yeah, he just kind of fell down here. And yeah, Sunnyvale picking up the power is going to allow him to go Obliterate into Torch and just clean it up. So that's going to be 1-0 in his favor. So we're going to move into our second pre-side board game.
Yeah, that was real quick. It was over on turn 6.
Yep, that was about as convincing as it normally gets. Like, you have to be pretty impressed there. So we said it was going to be a 30-game series. Well, if you finish each game in 5 minutes, you got plenty of time.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's hard to say too much. I mean, we already saw these players earlier. Like, we can talk about their sideboards again in a little bit when that comes up. But for the most part, I mean, this is going to be straight aggro.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if they keep the same kind of more mid-rangey sideboard plans, where like Missing Toes keeps Crystallize and Obelisk, and Sunnyvale brings in the Statuary Maidens. I'd imagine they probably do. They've felt each other out for a lot of games now.
Yeah, like, they've definitely had enough time to play this series, and like, it's just going to be one more time. So, yeah, another good leadoff for Sunnyvale, and I think he's not on the play again. which is kind of unfortunate. And Missing Toes' hand a little bit better this time around. Like, he will at least be able to put up some blockers, and he'll have a permafrost for either the Instigator or the Cha-Cha, likely. Although, since he will throw a 1-1 in front of his Pyro Knight, it's probably not going anywhere.
Yeah,
So.
Temple Scribe is basically the dream answer, a 2-1. And then with double Permafrost, like, Permafrost is just 1 power hard removal against Stone Scar. Like, they have no way to interact with attachments.
Nope, they do not. So Missing Toes is going to be able to lead off here pretty well. I mean, at this point, he can even just like go into Amber Acolyte if he wants. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be too worried about the 2 damage from the Rakano Outlaw. And he's got answers to Instigator, Impending Doom, or Cha-Cha now. He's got 2 out of 3 with the big Sandstorm Titan coming up, so it's going to help lock down the board. I mean, this game's looking like it's solidly in Missing Toes' control. I'm not sure how he's losing this one at this point. Sunnyvale's going to have to dig up a ton of burn and find ways to push through a bunch of damage.
Yeah, he needs stuff like Annihilates, I guess. Oh, Permafrosting to 2-2. I don't like that. That means that this Impending Doom is going to go unchecked if Sunnyvale can find an answer for the Sandstorm Titan.
Yep, that could be one of his ways in at this point in the game. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that the double perma right there.
Like, Stone Scar does make you feel really afraid because you take damage, you can get. But with Flame Blast reduced in damage now, like, you generally will only get burned out from like 10 to 12. You're not going to get burned out from 20 anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't happen very often. See Reinhardt coming down. And this, Sunny picked up an even bigger Impending Doom. So this 6/6 now actually poses quite a large threat. And Sandstorm Titan by itself isn't just going to be able to block it. He's going to have to sacrifice the Reinhardt and the Temple Scribe into it, which is still going to push 2 more damage towards Missing Toes in the meantime.
I think Missing Toes will be pretty happy to make that block since he doesn't have to put Sandstorm Titan in danger, and he has a backlash to prevent him from getting blown out by a possible rapid shot. Looks like Sunny's just gonna wait till he finds a removal spell, though.
Yep. 2 more damage going through. Sunny's just hanging back, but he will be taking 2 damage a turn in the meantime, so, he does have to eventually do something with these guys.
Yeah, and the Instigator could also be lethal if he does get down.
Oh, and there's a Cerso. All right, well, that's going to crack this open. And, Missing Toes does have a backlash, so even if Sunny finds, like, an Annihilate or something to answer the Sandstorm Titan, like, he's still going to eat it in the meantime. And this Cerso really only gets traded away. I guess what he's going for at this point maybe was to make the Pyro Knight big, but now that he's got the Cerso, like, this is just so awkward.
I can't help but feel that this draw-go favors the Elysian player who doesn't have 2 Impending Dooms in play.
Yeah, I have to feel the same way. Like, you're taking 2 damage a turn. Sunny's on an 8-turn clock of his own, and that's not even including that Cerso is going to start crashing now. And the only way to stop this is Sunny's going to have to throw 3 units in front of it, which still makes him take 3 damage. Like, you just sacrifice an Impending Doom at this point, right? Like,
even sack both of them.
Yeah, I don't know about sack both, but I definitely feel like you get rid of 1.
Yeah, I like this block a lot. You also don't take damage from the Instigator then, since it's a pig.
Yep. So you don't take a ton of damage there. And
so Sunny probably should have played one of these Pyro Knights in the earlier turns. He could have traded that off instead.
Yeah, that feels kind of bad against the Cerso, but I mean, at least he's got the Pyro Knight now. And I mean, if Sunny has picked up a power for turn, he'll be able to go Pyro Knight into ultimating it. Instead, he finds a rapid shot though, so that's pretty good. I mean, this is going to push through damage, but backlash will come through, clean that up, so the trade will still happen.
I think Sunnyvale is actually probably pretty happy to get the backlash out that way. Now it can't be used on a crucial Annihilate or Obliterate.
Yep, and the important important Impending Doom is still alive. Like, he still has the 6/6, so as soon as he clears off like the Reinhardt, he can start swinging in, and like that's very likely what he's going to do here. Is like, well, that's actually interesting. I'm surprised Sunny didn't just attack in with the Pyro Knight there. I guess he's holding it back to block for this turn with the Dawnwalkers, but again, the longer he waits, like the lower his life total's getting. Like, he has to push in at some point. Soulfire Drake. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. Like, just dropping the Soulfire and attacking with it so that you can get the Entomb effect off this turn.
Well, and he has a Torch in hand too, so if he blocked with Titan, he would have got to finish that off.
Yep. Missing Toes wisely, though, just taking the easiest trade he can find.
Has Sunnyvale taken any damage this game from something besides his own Impending Doom? He's taken 14 damage from his own Doom.
I think so, actually. I think he might have. maybe there was like a damage sneaked in earlier by like a 1-1 or something. But yeah, I mean, for basically the whole game, it's just the impending dooms that have been killing him. Now we're gonna see the Pyro Knights come crashing though. Like this is what he was waiting for. He was waiting to attack with 2. You know, that being said though, I think if you're missing toes, right, like you just let both of these hit and then you swing on the next turn back because you just kill your opponent, right? Like I'm not crazy, am I?
No, you're not crazy at all. That totally would. Although Torch on the Dawnwalker means he'd only hit for 10, which actually would be lethal, yeah, with this impending doom.
Yeah, like your opponent only has 1 card. Like I can't imagine you lose there, like no matter what they played. So, either way.
Suddenly, Missing Toes look he might be in trouble.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he's not like in trouble, but he's definitely not favored anymore. And he's still like a little favored, right? Like, I mean, Sunnyvale's down to 10 and he's ticking down each turn and he's just hitting power, but now he's picked up another impending doom. He's really weighing what he wants to do with it. Like, I think in this case, you probably swing in with this 6/6 and
swinging with both impending dooms. Like the crackback only knocks you to 3.
Oh, that's right, because that one has charge. Yeah, you're right. You're right, and you're actually happy to get the Sandstorm Titan out of it. Like you'd rather trade the Sandstorm Titan off because he's gonna block the 5/5 in theory, and then you just torch it. And now then you have a clean way. Like that's a 3-turn clock.
Yeah, and even a big unit for Missing Toes to bring back 2 Dawnwalk is going to be good for 1 turn here. Just giving him a 1-turn window to draw a 5-strength unit.
Yeah, Missing Toes.
He has a lot of misses in his deck.
He's going to be like on Sandstorm Titan or bust for the most part. Although this is an interesting play. Yeah, he takes it. He keeps the Sandstorm Titan around. And I mean, that's going to ensure that he's done. Like he could have bought himself at least a turn, but I guess he was reading that as a rapid shot maybe and didn't want to get blown out, but you have to get it out at some point. So
if it's rapid shot, you're dead this turn. But yeah, Missing Toes. Wow. That was an incredible game by Sunnyvale. I can't believe he won that. That was just brilliant, actually.
Yeah, that was
just sitting there with 2 impending dooms in play for so long, taking all that damage. He took 17 damage to himself. That's the next level stuff.
Yeah, that was like a really good set right there. And we're gonna go into our sideboard games now. Like let's check out the sideboards now for these players. I mean, we've already looked at them once today, but I mean, Missing Toes needs something to come up big here. Like he's got Scorpion Wasp, Praxis Displacer, and Permafrost, Scorpion Wasp, Praxis Displacer, and Polymorph. Like those are going to be his big cards here, so I'm guessing that's what he's going to be going into.
Yeah, I mean, he probably still has a sideboard plan from 2 rounds ago saved, I imagine.
Yeah, and yeah, Sunnyvale's. I mean, Sunnyvale, we kind of talked about his sideboard too. Like he just brings in Statuary Maiden, and that's basically it. Like you can bring in the Stone Scar Mauls if you really want.
Yeah, he didn't last time. I expect he probably won't this time either.
Yeah. Well, he might have brought him in. We just never saw him. Like it is only a 2 of, so. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he really needs it. Like once the player sideboard, like we'll jump in and see. Like these are going to be some quick games one way or another.
Yep, looks like the challenge, the gauntlet has been thrown.
Yep, gauntlet's being thrown right now. Sunnyvale ready to get into this game, and
he's up 2-0.
Yeah, he's up 2-0. I think they had split last time 1-1. So I mean, all he's got to do is sneak out 1 win, which for Stone Scar is not that hard.
Yeah, it just takes 1 opponent stumble or 1 god draw from you, and it's over.
Yeah. That's all it takes. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Waiting a little bit. I guess Missing Toes is like really, really getting into a sideboard. Can't blame him. He's in the finals. Yeah, and as we said, unfortunately, due to time constraints, like this is probably going to be it one way or another. So if somehow Missing Toes comes back, wins 3 games, like he's actually going to win the series. Normally there'd be a bracket reset, but Sunnyvale unfortunately has to leave. He has prior obligations for work that he already pushed back 2 hours to make sure that he could play this match. So can't hold the man forever, unfortunately. We are into our next match, though. Sunnyvale just mulliganed his hand away, and Missing Toes, he's definitely going to be mulliganing this one. Only has 1 power on his initial keep. So we'll see. We'll also be able to see what Sunnyvale ended up picking up there.
Not bad. 1-drop, 2-drop, annihilate Statue Maiden.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets, and he's got a seat, so he'll be able to have both influence right off the gate.
Yeah, Missing Toes is really light on answers to Statue Maiden. He basically just has everything else is killer and gives Sunnyvale a cudgel.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just permafrost it and never trade. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
The thing is that never trading is you. Your opponent can still block.
Yep, that's pretty much the problem here. Missing Toes picking up the Sandstorm Titan, but
there's an annihilate waiting for it.
There's 2 annihilates now. In fact, like Sunnyvale can even depending on how aggressive he wants to get here, he can honestly just drop an annihilate into this Amber Acolyte. But yeah, he's gonna hold it wisely. Like I think that's a little too aggressive.
He was fine going kind of late last game. Like he's got the Statue Maiden, he's got a soul. He doesn't have to end the game right now.
Yeah, this is good anyway because it means he can play the annihilate this turn, so that now he can drop the Statue Maiden on follow up. Now he can kind of just start getting in here, and the Statue Maiden's going to make cudgels.
Yeah, Missing Toes does have a Wasp for the Maiden if Sunnyvale attacks, which I imagine he will since he's looking so far ahead on both.
Yeah, like he's got to drop this at some point, and Missing Toes just missed all sorts of units. Like, and even at most units he finds at this point, Sunnyvale's going to be able to take care of with this annihilate. Like, as long as the backlash isn't going to be held up. So in the meantime, I mean, Sunnyvale's just going to be pressuring down. Here comes the Soulfire Drake. The Wasp has to come in. Like he's going to have to trade it, which gets him a cudgel, and it's going to give him that trigger.
It looks like Sunnyvale debating whether or not he wants to even attack with the Soulfire Drake. That's crazy.
Really,
Soulfire Drake pass.
Wow.
What a master.
Wow. I'm kind of confused as to why he did that. Like, I don't think you care, honestly. Like, yeah, this actually works out like a lot worse now. Like, I think you'd rather have just had to die there to the Scorpion. But
yeah, I guess he wanted to wait a turn so that he could torch the Scorpion one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, he was holding that. He has the Annihilate here, so now he can just kind of pressure in. Like,
also unlocks a 2-1 now, can make it a 4-3. Oh, geez, a 5-5 charge Rakano Outlaw. Oh,
yeah,
man.
That's pretty good here. I think that's just gonna do it. Like, this is almost lethal as is. Yeah, that's what, 13. Yeah, 13 pushing through right here. Missing Toes is just gonna concede. Like, he knows there's very, very limited number of combinations. So Sunnyvale, working within his 30-minute time constraint, says, "Hold my beer. I only need 18," and takes down the series 3-0 in an average of 6 minutes a game.
Savage beatings. After all these months, Stone Scar is still good.
Yeah. Gotta give huge props though. Missing Toes, he played extremely well today. He battled through some very tough matchups. He unfortunately fell short there in the finals. I mean, really, Sunnyvale just had some lights out hands and some fantastic plays. So big congratulations to both of our players. Again, huge congratulations to Sunnyvale for taking down the series.
Yeah, and congratulations to Missing Toes for taking second place.
Yeah, and so we're going to hand it off to Rekenner to go ahead and close us out.
That was, yeah, hold my beer. I've got an invitational to win. Hello, everyone. This is Rekenner, your tournament organizer. First, I'd like to thank and congratulate every player invited to this event. We've had 2 days of just fantastic Eternal. It's a little unfortunate we had to rush some of the matches today, but still we saw a lot of great players, a lot of insane games. Again, really a shout out to Hulk again, kind of reviving a deck we haven't seen since Season 3 in the mid-season major. But yeah, Sunnyvale taking first place. Congratulations. He takes home the title of the Season 5 Invitational Champion, which auto-qualifies him for the World Championships, a Champion Discord badge, a cash prize of $80 and 12 series points. And our second place player, Missing Toes, who I would like to remind you qualified via the last chance qualifier last Sunday, had played in, I believe, one ETS prior to this. So really, anyone can come out, and if you're good enough, you can win. But Missing Toes takes home a cash prize of $60 and 9 series points. And we pay out cash prizes to top 8 and series point prizes to top 12. Series points, as a reminder, are the way to qualify for Worlds if you don't win an invitational event. And Worlds is coming up after next season. It's only about 2 short months away, and it has a cash prize pool of $3,000 paid out through the top 8. Next, I would like to thank all the players that have come out to any of our ETS events this season, and every season really, and all of our viewers. If it wasn't for all of you, we couldn't be doing this. Putting this tournament and stream on every week is fantastic. I would also like to thank Miller Tool and Teehee, our producers. Miller Tool, if you haven't caught me mentioning in chat or on Reddit, is basically producing from the eye of like Hurricane Harvey. If you've been catching the news, just kind of like holding his breath with one arm and producing with the other one. Seriously, our producers are great. They do a whole ton of work behind the scenes. They are our hardest working staff members every tournament we put on. They're great. Without them, we couldn't be doing this. And I'd also like to thank our graphics and co-contributors who make our jobs much easier, specifically Mengar for the tiebreaker script I use every week, and the deck image creation tool. And thanks to X Kirby for his work on our weekly highlights and getting up the Twitch highlights that some of you all watch every week. And a huge thank you to our $20 Patreon backers. They make it possible for us to have prize pools at our events. None of this would be possible without you all. A thank you to Chuck Hurst, Easy, Chris Kearns, Andrea Pokai, and Seek Power Gaming, who had many members make good deep runs in this event. Shout out to all of them. And you can find our Patreon at www.patreon.com/RNG Eternal. And finally, a thanks to all of our casters this season. Sir Rhino has put in a metric ton of work in the last 2 weeks, casting 3 times in the last 8 days. And he got our pre-show organized. He was planning on doing it on his stream, but we talked with him and got him to do a bit more of an organized pre-show. But he was the one who had the seed for the idea, and it turned out great. Give us feedback on it. It was the first time we did it, so any constructive feedback would be appreciated. I'd also like to thank Mark, aka Chibi Kawai, who did a great job casting yesterday as a stand-in for both Calendar and Pojo, who had technical issues, but who have both done a great job over this last season of casting. And finally, our casters today, Bairdrus and LighsOutAce. Bairdrus, would you like to tell us about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you who don't know at this point, I'm basically one of the regular ETS casters here pretty much every week with some few exceptions. So had a lot of fun casting today. Always enjoy seeing all of our great players. If you want to find me in game, you can find me at Bairdrus plus 3110 if you ever want to play some games. And you can generally catch me here on Saturdays casting these tournaments. And Ace, how about you tell us about where we can find you?
Yeah, well, you can find me at aReNGee. I won't go into the full plug right now, but I write an article every week there. And I also stream on this very channel on most Sundays, not invitational Sundays, obviously, and Wednesdays and Thursdays. So come check it out if you want to see some goofy decks, and we try hard sometimes.
Once again, thanks to both of you. You did a great job of casting today. And to everyone out there in the audience, remember, if you want to play in the ETS, it is free and open registration. Full registration details can be found at rngeternal.com/ETS and in the Eternal Discord server in the tournament info channel. However, we will be taking a week off after this week. No tournament on Labor Day weekend. We get a break. Just happened to work out that it's a holiday. So the first weekly of Season 6 will be on September 9th. And again, details for that will be up in the Discord and on rngeternal.com/ETS. And that is it for the Season 5 Invitational. So once again, thanks to all of our viewers and all of our players. We do this every week, usually at noon Eastern. So click the follow button below. We stream ETS every Saturday, and Militool streams on Monday night, and LighsOutAce streams on Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Sunday afternoon. And aReNGee should be back from his vacation soon and hopefully back to streaming. So again, for like the 5th time, thanks to everyone. This is great. All y'all are great. Have a good night or good afternoon. Enjoy the music on the way out.